friends, I am Deepa Roy Chaudhary, the founder of Value Life Skills, which helps people take control over their minds and transform their lives for becoming healthy, happy, and successful. I am an ex-state administrator turned mindset coach, having a disease-free body and a stress-free mind. So this is very dear topic to me about how to become resilient to stress, anxiety, and depression. And today I'll give you the number one solution of this question, how you can stay away from stress, anxiety, and depression. Have you ever heard about this phrase which says, stress results from not the situations, but how we respond to the situation? I'm sure you have heard this phrase many a times. But have you ever understood the deeper meaning which is entailed in this phrase? Let's today discuss about this phrase and how you can respond differently to the situations so that you stay resilient to stress, anxiety, and depression. For this, we have to understand how our mind works. Yes, because how we respond is directly related to how we think. See, whatever is going in our life, whatever situation, whatever event we are experiencing in our lives, the information about that event, that situation is taken through our sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. We experience the situations, the events, the experiences in our life through these sense organs, and these sense organs then send the information to our brain. This we all know. We read it in science books in schools only. But how this information gets processed in our minds, that is never taught in the schools or even in colleges. And that is what will make you stress-free in any situation. So first of all, we'll know how our mind processes the information which is sent to it through sense organs. Our sense organs at a time, at a moment, takes into 2 million bits of information. That is whopping 20 lakh bits of information per moment. But do you think that amount of information is essential to be stored and processed in our minds? No, not at all. So what mind does is it filters out the information and takes only 5 to 9 chunks of information which it sends to your subconscious mind to be stored as memories. These memories are then recalled and retrieved to be used in our life situations in our future, knowingly or unknowingly. So what are the criteria? How it decides that what are the 5 to 9 information that should be taken in and stored as memories in our subconscious mind? So it applies 3 filters. These 3 filters are deletion, distortion, and generalization. Let's take one by one. First is deletion. Deletion simply means to delete. Our mind deletes most of the information which is received from the sense organs. For example, when you go to your office from home, you see thousands of people, buildings, trees, flyovers, vehicles, birds, everything, whatever you see on the way. Do you remember all these things? No, it is neither essential nor possible to remember all these things. So what our mind does is, it deletes most of the information. And how does it decide what needs to be retained? Whatever is important and related to you and whatever is unique for you, it retains all those information. For example, if you see some of your friends or neighbors or family members on the way, you will remember that. Or you see some weird looking person, suppose someone having tail or dressed as a clown or some deity, that information also, that person you will remember. Or if you see some accident which is not usual thing for every day, that thing which is unique, these things you will remember. So whatever is important, like whatever is related to you and whatever is unique, these information are retained and sent to the subconscious mind to be stored as memories. Then comes the second filter, which is called distortion. Distortion simply means to distort or to change. Whatever information is sent, it doesn't get stored as it is. It is changed. How? Suppose on a summer day, the temperature is 45 degrees of Celsius. For me and you, it is a very hot temperature. It is a bad weather because we are suffering. But think about that farmer who is waiting for his watermelon crop to get ripened. For him, 45 degrees of temperature is really a good temperature. Good temperature means good crop, and good crop means good profit. So the fact, the information is 45 degrees of temperature. But bad weather and good weather, both are distortion of that meaning. So this is after deleting, the mind also distorts. Some information it can only delete, some distort, and it can delete and distort, both of them, about the information. Then it applies one more filter, which is called generalization. We as an individual and as society generalize many things. Let me narrate a very small story to you so that you can understand what I mean by generalization. There was this hospital in which, like many other, all the other hospitals, there were many nurses, many doctors. One particular doctor gets attracted to a nurse and then they get married. In a couple of years, a child was born to them. But the issue is the doctor did not become the father and the nurse did not become the mother. How is this possible? Are you thinking about this? Let me help you a little. It is because the doctor was a female doctor and the nurse was the male nurse. Seriously tell me, did you even think about this? Because we have generalized these things. We as a society have generalized that if a doctor and a nurse gets married, the doctor needs to be a male doctor and the nurse has to be a female nurse. But this can be other way around too. This is called generalization. So all these distortion and generalizations happen on the basis of our past experiences, knowledge, learnings, beliefs, values, culture, tradition. All these things affect and distort and generalize the information before it gets stored in our subconscious mind as our memories. Now the event about whose information is taken into our mind, the event which is going on in our life, let's say it as event 1. This event 1 goes to our mind after being deleted, distorted and generalized. So it is not the same information, it is not the same event. What is stored in our minds is the internal representation, our internal representation of that outer event. It is our internal map of that outer event. It is not that event. Let's say it is event 2, which is inside our minds. It is not event 1, which is outside our body and mind. So this event 2, the internal representation, the internal map of the outer event is what we take into consideration while responding to any situation. When we experience some situation in our life, we retrieve the deleted, distorted and generalized information, not the actual information. Let me give one more example to make it more clear. Suppose an accident occurs on a road. A bike rider gets hit from behind and he falls down and fractures his leg. Now, a doctor had opened his clinic that very day beside the road. The passers-by took this accident victim to that doctor's clinic. Now, the accident was the event in both the lives of doctors and of victims. But the internal representation of that event will be different for the doctor and for the bike rider. For bike rider, it is a stressful, sad, painful event because he is in pain. He has to take leaves. He has to incur medical expenditure. But the doctor, is it a sad and stressful situation for doctor as well? No, because he got his very first client on the very first day of opening his clinic. For him, it is a happy event. So the internal representation of the outer event is happy representation in the doctor's mind and a sad and stressful event in the mind of the victim. And whatever internal representation is there in our mind, we respond according to that representation. We think about the situation based upon that representation, and that makes possible whatever we are responding. In this example, the accident victim will be stressful because he is going to incur medical expenditure. He is in pain. He will have to take leaves. So you will ask, how can he be happy in this situation? It is really a sad situation. Of course, it is a sad situation, but he can be a little less stressful. How? If he changes the way he thinks. Suppose he thinks that it is only a fracture. I might have lost my life as well, but I am alive, and so I am safe and my family is safe. They would have suffered if I would have lost life in this accident. Do you think that if he thinks like this, there will be less stress? And about the medical expenditure, if he has taken care of it previously, some mediclaim, some insurance policies, or if the office is providing the medical expenditure, then well and good. Even if he has to spend from his pocket, isn't it better than losing life? And about leaves, he has to take 21 days or 30 days leaves, but this is the opportunity to rest, to read, to listen to music, to do whatever he could have done, whatever he likes. Like if he was in normal condition, no one in no office, they will give you 21 days or 30 days leave at a stretch. If we think differently about the situation, it will really change the response that we give to that situation. Can you do this one thing? Whenever you are in a stressful situation, or whenever you are about to enter a stressful situation, can you stop for a moment and ask yourself, is it the deleted, distorted and generalized form of my information which I'm using to respond? Is it that internal representation which is making me think in stressful manner? Can you do this? Just a moment will make you respond differently to a situation. And this is the most important way of staying resilient to stress and from anxiety and depression which comes after stress. So watch your thoughts, respond to situations differently by thinking differently. That is what makes you resilient from stress and the ensuing anxiety and depression. There are many other ways to stay resilient, which we can discuss in other videos, but this is the most important way. And I hope you use this way to stay stress-free. For this video, that's all that I have for today. So thank you for listening to me, and bye for now. Bye.